I take it that wasn't for me. I want to start by just thanking Mike Zadamka for hosting us here today. I know that this is a wonderful day, not only for him personally, because I know that he's very close to our next chief, but also for Humboldt High School, which today boasts a proud son who is going to be the next chief of the city of St. Paul. This is a wonderful day. It is a culmination of a hard process that has screened 4 truly wonderful candidates. We've had some great opportunities in this department. We have great people. We had 4 really wonderful candidates, and I want to thank them. I see Bill Martinez, Todd Axtell, Colleen Luna, 3 people, any one of whom who could have been the next chief in this department, and they would have done an incredible job. I see the members, some members of our selection committee that worked so hard. Denise Harris, among others, was one of the co-chairs. John Choi was the other co-chair. I want to thank them for their incredible efforts. That was a lot of time that you devoted to this process, a lot of sorting through a lot of paper, it is incredibly important that we did that, because I think this process allows us to get to a candidate who has the confidence of the community, has the trust of the community, and the community knows is going to do a good job. In addition to our council members here, Dave Thune, Kathy Lantry, Russ Stark, we're pleased to be joined by County Attorney Susan Gertner, and of course our great Chief John Harrington, who looks like he's tired from a trip to New Orleans. I'm just guessing. I want to thank them, as well as Nathaniel Kalik, the head of the NAACP, is here today, joins us, and behind him, of course, is a great friend and a great chief, Bill Finney, and I want to thank you all for being here with us today. We also have some department directors. We have Rick Larkin and Tim Butler. We have Mike Hom, Bob Kessler. We have Rich Lallier, all the folks, Jerry Hendrickson with the City Attorney's Office, all of whom are going to be an important part of the team that will help the next chief be successful. So, not a surprise, despite the reporter's best efforts last night, late into the evening to try to get me to confirm, I suspect that when we decided that this event was going to be at Humboldt, it wasn't really a hard guess. But it was important that we gather here to celebrate not only the fact that a West Side kid that went to Humboldt High School with his wife, was part of the last graduating class from the old building, has grown up to not only serve the city of St. Paul well, but to reach the highest heights, to be the next chief of this incredible department. And it is an incredible department. It's had wonderful leadership over the years. It has a national reputation that is second to none, and that it will continue. But with every department, new leadership comes in, and we go in a slightly different direction. But not to throw out what we have done and what we have been successful at, but to continue to move it forward and to move it in the right direction. To make sure that the people in the city of St. Paul understand this is their police department, these folks, these men and women serve them, and they will do so well. I can't tell you how excited I am to have Tom Smith be the next chief of the city of St. Paul. Tom's a cop's cop. He's had every position in the department. He's done every dangerous assignment that you can have. He's led men and women into battle, and he's done it with distinction. But more than that, he's a community member. He's never afraid to volunteer, to help kids here at Humboldt, to work in the community, do whatever he needs to do, because he understands that being a cop is not just a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24/7, and you got to be more than just a person who punches the time clock. You got to be a part of the community, and no one gets that more. I've known Tom for a long time, and I have respected his work. I've always thought that he would be a strong contender for chief. But as this process has evolved, it became clear that he is the person to lead the department into the future. There are a lot of stories that I could share with you that make me think that. But I want to tell you one. It comes from a conversation that I had with Nick Cleek probably about 6 months ago when Chief Harrington announced his resignation. He said, you know what? Tom Smith patrolled Summit University for 11 years. He was tough. He did what he needed to do. But in those 11 years, not once was there ever a complaint that Tom Smith treated anyone unfairly. Not a complaint. I'm not talking about a sustained complaint. I'm talking about a complaint. Tom's reputation for fairness, for toughness, for honesty is second to none. And he is going to be one hell of a police chief for the city of St. Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Smith.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All I can say is, wow. Thank you so much for everybody being here this morning. Before I start my official comments, I just have to tell you a quick story. And I had a call, Principal, where's Mr. Sadamka, 0500 hours this morning. And in police work, that's 0500 dark hours. Because having gone to school here, I was a little worried about background checks and everything else to become the next chief. And I knew I had failed some years back in the old building to complete one detention. So Mike told me that the files are sealed, so if it won't come up in the background. I just want to let the council know that as well, just to make sure. Now, for my wife, it's another story. I know she's got a couple outstanding, and she said she'd stay after today, so thank you. I am so humbled to be in front of all of you here this morning. I can't tell you how much. I want to start off by thanking the mayor for your commitment to excellence for the city of St. Paul, for your faith in me to do this job. It means a lot to me. I want to thank the council. We've worked well together. I've worked with some of you more closely than others, but in the next weeks, months, and years, we'll work even closer together. Truly, our mayor and city council, our form of government here in St. Paul is amazing, and I've traveled many places, and that is why we truly are the most livable city in America. To the other department directors that are here this morning, thank you for being here. I know we'll be working close together. I have some ideas about partnerships already. We'll be talking in the next few months. And to my colleagues from the St. Paul Police Department, I've got to tell you, I love you. I am proud of you. Your community's proud of you. And we are going to do good things, not just good things, great things the next 6 years. Thank you for being here this morning. You know, for 20 years, I've had the opportunity to wear this uniform. A uniform that for a career I get to wear, knowing that in the end, I don't own this uniform or the badge. From inside this uniform, I've seen people at their very best and absolute worst. I have seen my friends pay the all too great price of their life because they were wearing it. I have experienced the incredible trust others have placed in me simply because of this uniform, and have faced the challenge of turning contempt to partnership. Being a police officer is an honor, and today with humility, excitement, and confidence, I am ready to lead a great department in a great city. I want to thank a few other people that are here today. My family, my wife Catalina, you're my core. That's all I'm going to say. To my children, Thomas, Deanna, Cassandra, you know how much I love you. You keep me strong. I don't know where my brother and sister-in-law are over there, and my uncle who's here, 92 years young. Glad you're here, Uncle Lloyd. This is kind of a historic event today. And I just want to thank one person who's not here today. And we all have family and friends that we've lost in our lives. I know the mayor's had a very difficult year. Many of you have probably lost loved ones that are now no longer with us. But a little less than a year ago, I lost my mom. And my mother was one tough woman. In fact, my mother and my wife's mother were known as two of the toughest women on the West Side. You did not mess with them. She ran the hot lunch program on the West Side over here on the West Side at St. Matthews. So my mom's well known by other St. Paul police officers that have traveled through or lived on the West Side. But Mom was someone who gave me, along with my father, the morals and values that I needed to be successful, not just in this job, but in my life. The caring, the compassion towards other people, not just the community, but to the officers that I serve with. That's important. It's something that will continue. It's what defines us as such a great city and such a great police department. The neighborhood people that are here today from the West Side that I've grown up with, I love you guys. Te quiero mucho, as they say in Spanish. You are fantastic. From Gil to Lou to everybody, Julia, Don Luna, what you do along with your jobs, the commitment that they do here in the West Side to volunteer with our youth and do other things is what, again, makes this city so strong. And we will continue to do that. And thank you always for your advice and your belief in me. And we will continue to work even closer together, not just on the West Side, but throughout the entire city. I have friends everywhere in the city, and I'm very proud to stand in front of you here this morning. I'm also grateful to my friends and co-workers and the many people who encouraged me, challenged me, taught me, and reminded me that this was possible. To Chief John Harrington, John, you are a good man. Your leadership the last 6 years has done an exceptional job for our city. But what I admired most about you is our friendship, and thank you for that. To Bill Finney, you challenged me like no one else, good times and bad. Kicked me in the pants a few times too, just like my mom, but I needed that. And thank you. Thank you very much. But most of all, to my brothers and sisters who wear blue, I am truly honored by becoming your next chief. And know this, my true role will be to serve each and every one of you with our role to serve the citizens of our fine city. My administration will be marked by an organizational philosophy and practice that is fundamentally about service. Individually and as a department, we will renew our commitment to public service. Our service will be experienced not simply by our showing up when called, but by the quality, proactive nature, and effectiveness of what we do. With every new chief, as the mayor said, comes new opportunities and new challenges. My promise to each one of you is we will do this together. And finally, to the students here this morning, I've got to ask you, number one, isn't this pretty cool? I think so. What we do does make a difference. And I want the students to know that I'm your police chief as well. You'll still see me in the hallways here. I'm here at least once a week, sometimes more, because it's something I'm committed to do, to give that hour of week to come and talk to each one of you, and for us to go on field trips and share with each other. It really empowers me. But I want you also to know that your school resource officer here, and I don't know if Ruby's in here, Ruby Diaz, I mean, she's someone, yes, sometimes she's got to be tough here, but she's someone you can talk to because she cares about the youth. She cares about what you do every day. But I want to remind the students one thing as I close. And I've told my mentor students know this very well. Never, never let anyone tell you you can't achieve your dreams. Thank you very much.